The United Nations voted overwhelmingly on a resolution to demand a humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza.
The United States and Israel, however, were among 10 nations to vote against it. Meantime, President Biden is criticizing Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's handling of the war. Yesterday, he warned Israel is losing international support because of its, quote, indiscriminate bombing in Gaza. CBS News Middle East correspondent Hugo Bachega joins us now from Jerusalem with more on this. Hugo, this is a rare comment from a sitting U.S. president about Israeli efforts with this war. How are folks where you are reacting to what he said about Netanyahu and the way he's campaigning and handling this situation?
Yeah, Errol, these were the strongest comments yet by President Biden about the situation in Gaza. And I think it shows growing discontent in Washington over the Israeli actions in Gaza. Just days ago, we heard from Secretary of State Antony Blinken saying that there was a gap between what the Israelis were saying in terms of trying to protect the civilian population in Gaza and the reality on the ground. And a week ago, Secretary of Defense also said that there was the risk that because the Israelis were killing so many Palestinians that they could turn this tactical victory in Gaza into a strategic defeat. So today we heard from the Israeli foreign minister who said that the war in Gaza is going to continue with or without international support. So and we also heard from the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying that the goal remains the same, to destroy Hamas, and nothing is going to stop the Israeli military. Now, to give you a sense of how some in the Israeli media are reacting, so this is one of the most popular newspapers here, Yediot Ahronot, and one of the leading columnists said that today Prime Minister Netanyahu, with these comments, was trying to appeal to his right-wing base, and he also said that Prime Minister Netanyahu was trying to seize the opportunity to use this confrontation with President Biden, with Washington, again for domestic political purposes. We know that the Prime Minister has this coalition, which is the most hardline and most religious coalition in Israel's history. So again, some differences emerging between the Israeli government and the Biden administration.
The situation in Gaza is paramount in all of these calculations. What is the situation like right now?
Yeah, so fighting continues, and for days now we've seen that fighting has been focused on three main areas of Gaza in the north, Jabalia and Shijaya, which are areas that have been described as Hamas strongholds by the Israeli military, and again Han Yunis in the south. This is where the Israeli authorities believe that members of the Hamas leadership have been hiding, possibly in the vast network of underground tunnels. But the humanitarian crisis continues, and we're seeing widespread shortages of basic supplies, and shelters are overwhelmed with another wave of displaced residents, and very limited aid is getting in. And there has been a drop in the temperatures in the last few days. It's been raining a lot in Gaza, so obviously this is making the situation even worse for hundreds of thousands of Palestinians who are now living in very difficult conditions, with UN officials warning that the situation is catastrophic.
Hugo, you mentioned commentary earlier that Israel runs the risk of turning a tactical victory into a strategic defeat. The UN General Assembly voted overwhelmingly for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, but that vote is non-binding. Why is this still significant, though?
Well, Arrow, I think this really shows that this growing discontent, international discontent over the Israeli actions in Gaza, and I think this is very symbolic that you had the vast majority of countries at the General Assembly voting for this resolution. And again, the Israelis have been saying that any kind of pause in hostilities right now would only benefit Hamas. The foreign minister said today that a ceasefire in Gaza would be a gift for Hamas. But as we continue to see these images of Palestinians being killed, widespread destruction from those Israeli attacks, and also the suffering of the population with this worsening humanitarian crisis, those calls for ceasefire, those calls for a pause in hostilities are likely to get louder.
All right, Hugo Bachega, thank you.
And as we've been reporting, the situation in Gaza is becoming more desperate by the day as the United Nations now warns of a humanitarian collapse.
And overnight, more intense rain swept across the region, flooding refugee camps. CBS News producer Marwan al-Ghoul has this update from Rafah, Gaza.
It's windy and rainy here in Rafah, southern Gaza Strip, as half of Gaza Strip population displaced to this area. They spent a very miserable life last night under the sky and under rainy weather, which is very cold and terrible for the people who live in. Marwan al-Ghoul, CBS News, Rafah City, Gaza Strip.